Hi, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to the Webex session. I am Kalman Makay from the channel team, and on today I will be the moderator of our events. The Webex session topic is about Symantec product changes in the future. Basically, we will talk about the frequently asked questions, which is coming from the partner side and from the distributor side. And in the next 60 minutes on the presentation level, I will share you the frequent questions and the answers. So on today, no special guest. I will be the presenter for you. The event will be recorded, and later we will share the recording with you. If you have any question, then use the chat window, and end of the event or closing the event, we will go through all of the questions and I will try to answer for you. Now let me to share my screen and let's start the session. So I am planning the Webex sessions for you, and my plan was that it's a last Webex in the year before Christmas season, before starting visiting the families, starting the holiday, to choose you the light topic, not give you a one-on-one product information. Because when I visiting the partners and the distributors, I receive a lot of questions. Part of the portfolio, part of the strategy, part about how we can handle some tricky inquiries from the customer side. So basically, this is a short summary because we have limited time to explain for you that what was happened in this year, what is the actual trend, security trend on the field, and what type of typical question came from the partner side. But before I start, this is just a high-level overview about the portfolio and about the acquisition. So as you see, the Symantec Corporation is an old company, founded in 1982, and we continuously acquired a lot of company like Vontu. This is a DLP solution, still available, and one of the most important product in our portfolio. We acquired Elastica. Now this product is giving us the Symantec DLP cloud solution, the web gateway, proxy, one of the most important protection solution in our portfolio. We can talk about the isolation, the ZTNA. So basically, as you see, itself the acquisition was targeted and absolutely planned because these solutions are ready to use. We just need to merge or we just need to create a connection between the products. And then we can say that the SASE or a single agent, single console solution is here, and you can protect much more easier your environment. But you see, the VMware acquisition, 2019. Part of this we have a Carbon Black, but the Carbon Black is an acquired company. Originally, it was Bit9. It was an on-premise solution, on-premise component. Then VMware acquired, or Carbon Black acquired the Confer. Now this gives the cloud solution, the cloud-based endpoint protection management. So as you see, a lot of things happened in the past. A lot of type of software and security solution acquired by the companies. And now we are here that we have a Symantec portfolio without mentioning Blue Coat or any other old vendor name. So we have a Symantec portfolio, and now we will Carbon Black. So let's see where we are now. So let's see the portfolio. Here you see the most important security fields from the portfolio. The first is the Carbon Black, endpoint security. From the Symantec, we have information security, network security, endpoint security. I will talk about how we can handle the situation that we have two endpoint security solution, and the email. Part of the endpoint security, we have a traditional Symantec endpoint protection. We have a SaaS Complete, SaaS Enterprise, which is give you an option to protect your mobile phones, to manage from cloud or from on-premise the endpoint protection environment. Moreover, we are giving our Active Directory protection, and we are giving a EDR solution, so you can correlate your events, you can highlight what type of targeted attack happened in the infrastructure, and through the recording information, you can do the investigation, you can do the incident handling process in your environment. Then we have a Carbon Black security. I won't explain deeply itself the product, but itself the Carbon Black family has three main products: Carbon Black Cloud, Carbon Black App Control, and Carbon Black Endpoint Detect and Response. The Carbon Black Cloud, as the name shows, is a software as a service solution. This solution gives the traditional next generation antivirus solution to monitoring the behavioral incidents in the environment, to give you EDR function, for example. So it gives you a lot of things, which is relating and somewhere similar with the Symantec endpoint security. The Carbon Black App Control is a on-premise solution, individual product. So basically, this is not require any additional component from the Carbon Black family. With this solution, you can harden your operating system. Comparing to the Symantec portfolio, the DCS and the CSP, Critical System Protection, gives the same or similar solution. So itself, the app control and on-premise solution main focus the IoT devices, the critical infrastructures. So for example, if you cannot install any malware protection because no resources, or itself the operating system is not supported, then the app control can be a solution, because we are supporting the old operating system, which is not supported by the operation system developer company. So you can install to the Windows XP or Windows 7 or something like that. Moreover, you can create a granular policy, and moreover, you can trace the changes on the computer, because we are giving part of the application control of file integrity monitoring function, registry protection. So we not just monitoring the changes, we continuously protect the applications, and we are continuously protect the operating systems also. And the Carbon Black endpoint detection and response is an on-premise solution, which means that you don't need to create a bridge, or you don't need to connect to the internet. So basically, if you have any solution in your environment, you are using any other third-party vendor as an antivirus or endpoint protection solution, but you want to cover the EDR there, then the Carbon Black EDR can be an option. So basically, on-premise, the system will collect all of the event on the clients or on the servers, and then you can correlate, you can overview that what was happened. So basically, you see that some significant change and some significant difference between the product families, because part of the Symantec endpoint security, we are giving a single package, and part of the Carbon Black endpoint security, we are giving a modular system. And inside the family itself, the license are modular, so you can choose the right product, the right add-ons, which is necessary for the customer. So basically, a lot of difference between the family, and part of that, this is why I absolutely recommend for you to go through on the online enablement content, because through this you can see that where the Carbon Black stronger, or where the Symantec endpoint security stronger, or give better protection for the customer. Now, if you continue the portfolio overview, the next stage is the network security. We are giving the web protection, the isolation function, the zero trust, solution to access to the internal network. And we have a combination naturally, if you are talking about the bundle, so we can give you only just the web protection part plus the isolation, or we can give you the zero trust network access together with the web protection. And the last stage is the information security. We are giving the on-premise DLP solution. So if the customer has on-premise infrastructure, on-premise server farm, or need to protect the clients with the agent, then the data loss prevention is still available, and it's not planned to make end of life. And we have a data loss prevention cloud if you want to extend the protection to the cloud solution. So if the customer is using any software as a service solution, infrastructure as a service solution, then they can extend the visibility, they can protect this type of environment. Moreover, together, combining the data loss prevention core and the cloud, they can manage from a single console the incidents. They can manage the policies from the on-premise components. Everything will be uploaded to the cloud components. So basically, they can create a single DLP ecosystem covering the on-premise infrastructure and the cloud infrastructure. You see that the company on the by the way, this picture is from the partner portal. So if you visit the partner portal, you will see the same or similar, depending on the colleagues changing the portal view or not. So you will see the same on the partner portal, and don't forget that the email security is still in the focus product category. So you see that this is an additional products and email security, but very, very important component of the security and itself the portfolio. I will explain why. But first, let's see Symantec endpoint protection versus Carbon Black. So this is a typical question from the partners that what is the situation now? What will happen if the customer is coming to us and need to recommend something? What is the preferred? Will be end of life the Carbon Black, or will we retire the product family? Or what will happen with the endpoint protection? So the question that the product families are fighting with each other or not? How we can provide a solution for the customer? Before I explain the details for you, here is a question that what you see on the screen. This is the ladder. And the next question, is it dangerous or not dangerous? Is depending on. So if you leave this tool next to your building and you leave open the window on the first floor, then the attacker can use your ladder because it's next to the building, can go up on the ladder and can steal your things from the building. So basically, we can talk about that. Typically, the hackers are using our tools. Typically, they are sending a script or they are sending any application, which we use any additional application which is installed by default on our operating system. This type of attack is a landing, living on the field type of attack, not long. Living on off the land attacks, type of attacks, more exactly. Which means that they are sending a script for the employee. The employee will start this, and the script will invoke, for example, the Word or command lines or PowerShell or additional PowerShell script, or through the API connection because they can run a lot of type of tool on the client. They can download or they can create additional scripts, or a lot of techniques used through this type of attacks. So basically, day by day, more and more attacks happening on the customer side using the living of the land type of attacks. But we can talk about the targets. So we can talk about the small business companies. which SMBs, which means that they are continuously under attack because typically they are working for the big enterprise companies. And typically these are targeted, which means that they try to figure out that who is working for the company, who can be a potential customer, who can be a potential mother company. So through the LinkedIn or on the Facebook or on any other community web page, we are sharing a lot of information. And through this, much more easy to build up the social engineering attack, for example. And through this, much more easy to send into the organization the application or the malicious file to attack and build up the next target attacking vector in the company. Now let's go back to the solution. So we have endpoint security from Symantec and from Kalman side, which is fitting to the customer. Very good question. This is the official slide from the central presentation. You see on the left side the Symantec solution designed for robust large enterprises. And on the right side, you see the Carbon Black designed for SMB commercial customers. But on the opposite side, the minimum order quantity is 200 pieces from the Carbon Black. So from the United States viewpoint, the SMBs means total different size of the companies like in Europe or in Middle East or in Africa. So basically we can say that in our region, just mentioning Africa or Middle East, if you're talking about the company with 500 employee, we can offer the Carbon Black and we can offer the Symantec also. The question is always that how big the budget, what is the maturity of the company, and what type of product features needed. So the budget sometimes limiting that we can offer the Symantec package or the whole Carbon Black package. The maturity is important because maybe the Symantec is too much for them, or maybe the Carbon Black is too much for them, depending on the product that we are talking about. So basically, the maturity is very important. And the features. What is the roadmap? So in the future, need any cooperation with another Symantec product? Because in this case, the Symantec endpoint protection can be a solution. Symantec endpoint protection can be part of the Symantec ecosystem. If the XDR is a requirement, then from the Symantec ICDM console, you can easily forward the logs to the cloud DLP, the cloud SOC solution, which is providing the XDR. Or if need any cooperation with a DLP agent, Symantec DLP agent. In this case, the Symantec endpoint protection can be the right solution. If the customer purchasing the proxy package and using the cloud proxy solution, because part of the Symantec endpoint protection, we are giving the proxy agent. So under the hood, I cannot say that this is a single agent solution, but part of the Symantec endpoint protection, we are giving the cloud proxy agent. So maybe this is the right way for the customer. But maybe the customer need only the application control, nothing else. In this case, the Carbon Black app control product is more than enough. Or they need a vulnerability management. In this case, the Carbon Black can be a solution. So case by case, need to analyze the customer budget, the customer maturity, and the customer feature request. And through this, we can declare that which is fitting to the customer requirements or the security requirements. So basically, no black or white answer for here. But on the opposite side, we are in the lucky situation because if the customer want to look around on the market and need to taste 3 products, because this is the requirement or this is the compliance requirement, then we can say that, okay, we can give you the Symantec endpoint protection, we can give you the Carbon Black, you can choose any other third-party solution from the field, and then you can figure out that which is fitting to your requirement, because itself, the Carbon Black and the Symantec endpoint protection is a totally different product, but this behind the owner the Broadcom is the same company. So if the customer believe that Broadcom is doing well the future development, then it can be a right way to offer part of the POC, both product family, and they can choose the right solution. Why is it important? Because typically we receive a question that will the company merge the function, will create a new type of endpoint protection, or will retire, for example, the Symantec endpoint protection on the Carbon Black side? The answer currently is no, because as I mentioned, somewhere the Carbon Black is better, but somewhere the endpoint protection, traditional Symantec endpoint protection is much more better. Later, maybe the company will merge the features, but the programming code is totally different. We talk about the kernel, we talk about the features which are very close to the kernel. So it's not easy to create a new product. So a lot of work needed. A lot of and because both product is very sophisticated, a lot of time needed to merge itself, the development team. So basically, in the next 1/3 years, I don't think, and this is my personal opinion, I don't expect that is any new product will born. Well, if it will be released, it will be beta and just separate. It will be available separately for some customer. So in the next 1/3 years, I believe that both product family will be available, and you can choose the right solution for your customers. So part of the renewal, feel free to renew the Symantec solution. Or if your customer is using the Carbon Black, then feel free to renew the Carbon Black solution. Or you can overview that maybe the opposite side is better, and they can move between the families, between the product families. So this is the short answer that what will happen in the future about the Carbon Black and the Symantec. As I mentioned, need to check in case of the new opportunities and the new deals that which type of product family is fitting to the customer, and then you can be sure that the customer will use after the POC. You can be sure that the customer will get the right solution. Next to that, some partner, but I am sure that the customers received an email that the Carbon Black software as a software as a solution will be moved from the AWS to the GCP. So because of this, we have a lot of questions from the field that why Broadcom is using continuously the Google and the GCP. Why we are not providing services in AWS or Azure or from any other infrastructure as a service solution, or why we are not building up the Broadcom data center. Just imagine the following. You create a new company. You plan that you will provide something on the internet. It can be an endpoint protection solution with cloud management console. Now you need to figure out how you can provide worldwide, how you can provide a redundant and highly available service, how you can maintain, for example, the hardwares. So what will happen if the data center located in Sydney and nobody on site who can replace the hardware parts if anything happens with the server. So for example, the power supply failed and need to replace. So basically a lot of questions at how you can maintain your environment, how you can react the issues, and how you can make scalable the system. So what will happen if on tomorrow part of the conference, a lot of people visiting Sydney, just keep the original example, and the Sydney data center will be overloaded. You need to buy additional hardwares, or you need to extend your network bandwidth suddenly. What will happen if the conference ended and the employees and the affected person leave the country? In this case, you can move these servers, the hardware components to different location. So it's not easy question that what is the best practice But on the opposite side, if you choose any provider who has a infrastructure, who has a very strong network, so for example, own the optical cable, and they have a very good knowledge about how they can handle the issues. What will happen if somebody cut the optical lane and how they can change the routing topology. So in this case, this is a critical question that, and because Broadcom is providing a high-level security and a high-level services, so need to figure out that how we can react and how we can build our infrastructure to the reliable service. So Google is a trusted company on the world. They built a secure environment. Moreover, the 50% of the internet traffic is the YouTube, and you can watch and you can use always the YouTube. So basically no outage. They own their submarine cables. So basically you can be sure that the network always is working. If anything will happen with the cables, then they can resolve the issue in time. They have enough bandwidth. They have strategical interconnects between the main and most popular providers like Office 365 or Cisco Webex. So basically, the Google trusted, has enough bandwidth, have strategical interconnects, so you can be sure that if you are using, for example, the Broadcom proxy solution in the cloud, then the system is always available, always will work. And if you open the Office 365, for example, through the Symantec Google Cloud solution, then you can get the biggest bandwidth between the Google network and Office 365 because it can be a huge gap. So if you're talking about the traditional service usage, so here you see the user and open Office 365. Then a lot of dependencies here. So itself the ISP, the internet provider, international bandwidth. How you can access to the international websites. Is it restricted or not? Or maybe itself, the subcontractor is overloaded, for example. But if you are talking about the Google network usage, then the user is opening, for example, the connection to the Symantec Cloud Suite cloud proxy solution. Then the only dependency is that you have an internet access or not inside the country or in the region. Because if you go to the Google network, because the cloud proxy solution is running in the Google network, then you jump into the Google internal network. So it's indifferent that what you are using. You are using the cloud DLP solution, or you are using the cloud proxy solution, then this will be the internal communication between the components or between the management console. So basically, you can be sure that the system always will work and always will be accessible for you. Additional justification that why Broadcom is using the GCP is the latency. So some cloud provider company, without mentioning any vendor name, built up the data center. We are running here, for example, the cloud proxy solution. But the cloud ERP component or the CASB or any other additional solution is running in the third-party cloud data center or running in the different countries sometimes. And here the latency can be critical because what will happen if the employee open any web page? In this case, itself that how many milliseconds needed to get the content and analyze the content is very critical. Nobody satisfied if the web page appears very slowly in the browser. So in this case, the latency can be critical. But in our case, we are running all components in the GCP data centers, sometimes in the different countries, sometimes the different is running in the different territory, but basically using the GCP. So within the region, the latency less than 5 milliseconds. So typically is like a LAN network. So this is why Broadcom is using GCP. Through this, we can give a system which is always available in case of from the management perspective or using itself the service from the employee perspective. And another justification is a cost. So day by day or month by month, Google is opening a new data centers and Broadcom following Google and deploying locally the services. Next to that, itself the subscription fee doesn't change. So if on today we are opening a new location, for example, in Saudi Arabia, then your subscription fee or the customer subscription fee will be the same. And if the employee visiting or moving from Sydney to Saudi Arabia, to Riyadh, then can use the local data center without any additional fee. So basically, the subscription fee is absolutely flat, and we are not changing. But itself the functions under the hood, and the number of the data centers continuously growing, and we are giving more and more feature and more option to keep the data residency, to protect the blocks, and inspect the content locally inside the country if this is the requirement. Now, before I start with the AI technology, let's talk about the email protection. This is very exciting topic, and I just jump back to the presentation. Here you see that the email security cloud highlighted as a additional product, but very important component in our life if you are talking about the security. Why? I am working for the company approximately 10 years ago. And year by year, the company released a summary about the security issues and the security trends. And here you see 2015, I had a presentation. And you see in the title that email is the number one incursion vector for targeted attacks. And then you see some statistical information. But this happened, it was in 2015. Then in 2018, there you see, last year, 71% of the targeted attacks started with spear phishing, the oldest trick in the book to infect their victims. 2018. Then 2020, business email compromise. How the business email compromise? Through the email. 2021, email is a number one threat vector for data breach. And the last presentation about this, 2023, phishing attacks, up to 60% since 2023. So you can ask yourself that what will happen in 2025 or what was happened in 2024. The answer will be that the email was the primary attacking vector in case of the targeting attacks. So we need to keep focus on the email protection. Why? Because a lot of technologies to create the content, to create an AI animation, or to create a new website. And this website may be useful. So on today, maybe it gives you a funny pictures or funny videos. But what will happen if on tomorrow the attacker is replacing the web page content to the Office 365 login window? You can be sure that a lot of employees will provide the username and the password because maybe it's belong to the company access, and nobody knows why, but they are asking the username and the password to access to the funny content. So basically, much more easier to create a phishing site through the AI, and much more easier to following the trends, create a phishing site or creating a scam site. So you can improve your security with IPS, with endpoint protection, but on the opposite side, we can talk about the human error. So Dave is standing there, clicking to the links, ordering cheap tools from the internet because it's very cheap. Maybe after 1 week, 1 month, nothing will happen, but maybe the bad guys will use the credit card, debit card. Nobody knows. So basically, the human error is always is a risk. And now see the AI part. If you talk about the AI, then we need to talk about the traditional programming. So as you see on the screen, the cat, we can define the cat, which is an animal, has 4 legs, like the catnip. So this is the traditional programming. Now we can talk about the systems which can recognize the cat and the dog and the giraffe or elephant or something like that. Sometimes they failed, but this is not a AI. This is just neural networks which can detect, as we feed them with information, the right type of animal. And then we can talk about the generative language models, where we are giving a lot of information about the cat, books, pictures, a lot of things. So we are feeding the AI. And if we are sending a question that, what is the cat? Or please draw me a cat. Or please draw me a cat which is riding a horse. Then the AI will generate us an individual content. And the individual is depending on a lot of things. I will return to this. So day by day, a new AI solution is appearing on the market. And I can say that a lot of function is absolutely useful. So itself, as you see, Gartner defined that the AI, generative AI, is a productivity revolution. Day by day, a new companies appearing on the market. Day by day, a lot of new startup is coming, a lot of new investment happening on the market. So basically, itself, the topic is very hot. But from the cyber security perspective, and because the presentation recording will be shared, or later we can organize a dedicated webinar about the AI risk, here you see some example. Here I want to highlight that writing AI-powered personalized phishing emails. So in the past, if you received any email, then the grammar issues or the translation issues always show us that the phishing email is a phishing email, not a valid email we sent by the original company, the bank, for example, by the bank. So basically, much more easy to create a phishing emails without any grammar issue, or itself the AI will create a very nice and friendly email for the victims, and basically the attackers just need to use the generated content, and they can be sure that the victim will be a victim. Or we can talk about creating a malwares or creating a scripts. So if I switch to the browser, if I switch to the browser, it's Hungarian, but in English, if I am asking to create me a PowerShell script to find servers on the network, then the system will create a script. And the employee just need to run in the internal infrastructure. So basically, in the past, we talk about the script kiddies or the professional hackers. Now we can talk about that everybody can be a hacker, and itself the result that how they are using or what is the main purpose of the usage of this script, depending then they are malicious or they just playing with the technology. Uh, Part of the AI, we can talk about the data privacy. So what will happen if you are sharing any sensitive information for the AI? So part of the cat example, I mentioned the feeding. So if we are sharing any information for the AI, maybe the AI will use in the future this information, or will be a small part of the answer. So what will happen if I am sharing any source code? What will happen if I am sharing any internal information, stock exchange information, finance information? Will they use, will be part of the answer or not? Additional issue that AI is everywhere. So in the browser, if I am asking something, maybe I am using the search window, the Bing, or maybe the AI will be feeded, or maybe the AI will answer for me. If I am upgrading the Adobe Acrobat Reader, AI is there. If I am upgrading my operating system on the Apple mobile phone, AI will be under the hood. So basically, AI everywhere, and because of this, I don't say that we need to hate the AI because the AI is absolutely helpful in our life, but we need to be careful from the company perspective, from the customer perspective, how we need to protect the internal know-how, the internal information, and how we can control the AI usage from the employee side. So just an example that the AI, as you see, can generate the script, but I can do a lot of things. So I can ask the AI to generate me a picture, a horse in the it's so we can generate the content, but sometimes we are sharing sensitive informations, and maybe the answer will be coded into the picture or in the answer in the script. What will happen if the startup company crashed because the business model is not working? Will they sell the data? How they will process the data? How I can ask them to forget my information? And the last thing is the copyright issues. If I am uploading my source code, it will be shared for any other company. Or if I am uploading any music content or video content, will be used part of the picture generation, generating any picture. And here you see the additional example. This is my example that I had a meeting with a company, and after the meeting, I received a short summary about our meeting. And the AI in the background created a list about the action items. As you see, here is my face. So continuously stored the screenshot from the session. Here you see the history of Symantec. So basically, in the background, continuously analyze the content. But what will happen if I am sharing any content which is under NDA? So itself, the partner or a distributor signed the NDA, but this company didn't sign. In the future, will they use this information? Will they use my picture, my voice, the content? Nobody knows. And nobody informed me in advance that part of the meeting, the affected company will use an AI solution. So because of this, we continuously need to be able to discover, analyze, monitor, and control the generative AI usage. Through this, and I believe that I will organize a dedicated webinar about this topic, we have a solution on all level of the infrastructure. So on the device, the Symantec endpoint security continuously can protect against the malware attacks or the malicious scripts, because sometimes the script can be malicious. The endpoint DLP continuously can monitor that what type of information try to leave the endpoint through the web, through the USB, or through any other thing. On the network, what type of communication is going through on the smart television or smart fridge or any other device which cannot run Symantec endpoint security or DLP agent. In the cloud, I can continuously monitor with the cloud SOC, with the DLP cloud, what is happening in the cloud. And through the email security, I can, combining with the DLP cloud, I can monitor what type of information we leave the organization through the email. Additionally, Broadcom focusing to the generative AI, how you can highlight in your infrastructure or in your organization that what type of AI usage, generative AI usage happening in the organization. So itself, the DLP cloud prepared to create for you a clear statistics that how many people, how many employees using. And then I go back to here. After you discovered and you made an asset and the list at what type of AI used by the employees, then you can make stronger monitoring, and then you can take over the control, and you can say that, okay, ChatGPT is permitted to use, but any other generative AI solution is not permitted to use. But the AI is good, and Broadcom is using the AI. How we can use. So for example, if on today you go to the ICDM console, you can chat with our AI solution. So if you have any question, then the AI will answer for you, will guide you, will give you a clear information that where you can find the information on the support side. And in the future, we will give you a lot of AI-based feature. So for example, fine-tune the DLP policies or give a clear information about the incidents after the correlation. There you see the submission summary, for example. You can create an automated actions that if this happens and if this is malicious, then create this and this and this policy. So basically, the AI is absolutely our friends. And part of that, Broadcom is using the technology, and it is available, and it will be available. So day by day, a new features is coming out, part of the DLP, part of the ZTNA, part of the proxy, part of the any other cloud solution. So basically, the AI will support your work, the customer works to make much more secure the environment. Now let's see the future on the high level. This is a typical issue that a lot of companies going to the cloud. They're starting to use a software as a service or infrastructure as a service solution, and it's a very hard question that how we can restrict the access to the AWS or the Office 365, or how they can handle the communication from the managed devices or from the unmanaged devices. So part of this, we have a solution. So it's released a few months ago. The name of the solution is Web Application Isolation. You will see later that it's an isolation portal, which means that we can make bridge between the managed and unmanaged computers. But in this case, we're focusing on to the unmanaged computers to make an access to the internal infrastructure or to the dedicated tenants on the software as a service solutions. What means this? Currently, we have a mirror gateway service, which means that if you want to access to the Office 365, but you want to control that what the employee is doing, or you want to control that what type of data uploaded by the employee. So, for example, if the object, we can talk about the file, script, email, etc. If the object is malicious, then the mirror gateway can block this immediately. Or if the employee tried to copy sensitive information from the Office 365 online office application, so opening an Excel sheet and try to copy any PCI DSS information, then can prevent this action. But the mirror gateway is supporting only the Office 365. With the web application isolation, generally, you can protect your environment. So in case of the software as a service solution, if you can define that who can access to your service, in case of the Office 365 is very easy. In case of another service, it is not trivial, so need to investigate, need to inspect before you offer the solution. But if you can restrict the access, so you can say that you can restrict the IP ranges, and you can determine that the software as a service solution can be accessible only from the Broadcom SASE subnets, then you are fine, because you can create a new rule that if the employee opening a URL, which is pointed to the application, web application isolation, then the system automatically will isolate the connection, and on the fly, in real time, you can inspect that what the employee is doing, even if the employee is using unmanaged computer. So you can manage the control, copy-paste action. You can control the upload action. Moreover, you can protect itself, the cloud solution, because the isolation rebuild all of the content which is coming from the web server or sent by the employees. So basically, the web application isolation is a new service, is available, so you can order this product. I highly recommend to do the POC, and if you need any detailed information about this service, then please send me a message, and we can organize a dedicated session about this. So this is available, but this is a fresh product, and VLB gives you much more option comparing to the Mirror Gateway product. Now here you see the I skipped just the animation. The centralization versus decentralized systems. So we can talk about the customer strategy, where the customer using or choose a different vendor for cloud proxy, on-premise proxy, or DLP solution. So sometimes they are sizing to the budget, not to the technical requirements. So in this case, sometimes they are in trap because they cannot make bridge between the cloud proxy and the on-premise DLP, or they don't get the clear picture that what is happening in the infrastructure. They cannot correlate the information, so the XDR function is not available, for example. So because of this, this is why we evangelize the SASE solution. Because if you choose the Symantec portfolio, then we can cover the proxy, the web protection, on-premise and in the cloud. We can cover the DLP function. We can cover the email protection and protection. The list is very long. But the main goal here to provide for you the Symantec Enterprise Cloud. The main goal here to give you a solution where you can control, or you can, or you have a possibility to control the managed computers and the unmanaged computers. Moreover, you can manage the system from the cloud or from on-premise, it's depending on. Or the systems can switch between the cloud or the on-premise systems, and you can manage from the single console the solution. Here you see. So this is the Symantec Enterprise Cloud. The gray part is under NDA, so I cannot show you, but this is the main dashboard of the Symantec Enterprise Cloud. And what is the main goal here? That from a single console, you can manage your proxy policies, the DLP policies. You can correlate the information between the solutions. So from the single console, you can do everything. And you need to just deploy just one single agent without caring about that how many agent is running on the client. And this single agent will protect your managed computer. Next to that, naturally, we have a lot of any other technology to protect the destination systems like Office 365, internal network against the unmanaged devices, or supporting the access to the internal network through the ZTNA solution. So if you are talking about the portfolio, currently Broadcom is the only vendor, Symantec, because in this case we are focusing to the Symantec products. Symantec can cover all of the termination points and can give a solution on-premise and in the cloud. Sometimes it's not means, okay, a lot of partner is working with another vendor. So this is not about that we are giving everything comparing to another vendors. So sometimes maybe the Zscaler or CrowdStrike or Netscope features are maybe better or more fitting to the customer requirements. But if we are talking about a single security ecosystem, and because the solutions typically leaders on the market from the feature perspective or from the security level perspective, you can be sure that if the customer choose the Symantec portfolio, then brick by brick can build up the security stack and can be sure that the systems can cooperate with each other independently that they are using cloud or on-premise, or independently that the employee is using a unknown Wi-Fi network. So basically, we can protect everywhere the employees against the targeted attacks, or we can protect the organization against the information data leaks. So this is why important to choose the right vendor. Sometimes the customer like the single vendor solution. Sometimes the customer doesn't like the single vendor solution. But if they are thinking about the SASE, then it's important to choose a single vendor because this will give the warranty that they are not facing any incompatible issue or they won't face any issue with the incident handling. Now let's see the certification and the enablements on the high level because Christmas season is coming. And if you have time and you are a tier 1 or tier 2 partner, please visit the partner portal broadcom.com because maybe the Christmas time is very good to learn about the products. And just a reminder that we released the Carbon Black content. So the Carbon Black sales role, pre-sales role, implementer role, support role is available now, approximately 2 weeks ago. So basically, if you want to learn about the Carbon Black features, I highly recommend to go to the partner portal, select Symantec, select the Symantec part, enablement submenu, and then you can access to the certification playlist. So basically, you can be certified about the Carbon Black products also. So this was a short summary. As I mentioned, only 60 minutes was available to explain the topic. So if you have any question, feel free to ask me and I will answer. Now, let's see, I stopped the screen sharing. Okay. And let's see the questions. Okay, somebody sent an email address. Okay. Really, Symantec endpoint protection remove forever and replace with Carbon Black? The answer is no. So you can offer the Symantec endpoint protection or the Carbon Black. It's depending on the requirements. Customer using SEP and not required EDR. Okay. If I recognize 101 the question, it said the SEP as a package is not providing EDR function. So I think we talk about the SES complete package because this is the only which is providing EDR. Good thing. It's a very absolute relevant question. You can overview the requirement and maybe you can transform the customer to the Carbon Black. How will you position SES complete Symantec against the typical Palo Alto Cortex XDR capability? Because this is a public webinar, I cannot position the Palo Alto solution, so I cannot answer to this question. It's competitive and they are needed for this topic. Can you share the recording? Yes, it will be shared. Do we find carbon black material for exam also? Yes, I show you part of the presentation. What do you know about the DLP and endpoint agent in a single agent ETA? No ETA yet, so I cannot promise anything for you. What can I believe it in the next year will be released, but let's see. What can tell the customers why Symantec Carbon Black were not part of meter evaluation round 6? Good question. I will check this. Does any of product support basic ambient functionalities for iOS and Android? The answer is no. And currently, I don't see any sign that the ambient function or the MDM functionality is a goal or requirement from the security side. Typically, we can make a bridge with third-party solution. So currently, the MDM is MDM, and we are giving the endpoint functions. How does it compete against Netscope Zscaler? I cannot share competitive information part of this meeting. Are there any plans to bring back the live update functionality? Sorry, but I cannot understand. I cannot recognize your question because the live update is working. Microsoft has the app in Purview. You missed this. AIP, MIP, Purview is the new name. Okay. What should be the top 3 solution to promote in 2025? It's a very hard question because I go back to the to my presentation where I presented the solutions. So the information security is absolutely a hot topic for the customers because a lot of customer is not using DLP, but part of the AI and part of the requirements, more and more customers decide to implement the DLP solution. Typically because they are using the Office 365 and they need to control what type of information shared or uploaded on the cloud. The web protection, the zero trust network access is another important thing because they need to monitor that what type of web page or need to control and protect the employees that what type of website opened by the employee. The zero trust network access because much more easier than the VPN. I mean that from the compatibility perspective or from the support perspective. So the SAC is absolutely a hot topic on the customer side. The Symantec endpoint security and the Carbon Black is hot topic also. So I cannot say that which is the top 3 or top 4 because all of the component is which is provided by us is important. Moreover, a lot of company thinking about plan to apply the SASE technology or the SASE strategy, and because of this, they continuously replace the solutions and they are switching to the flat infrastructure where the system components coming from the same vendor, just to make stronger the security ecosystem. Is the price reasonable for Z10 solution for SMEs? It's a good question. I cannot answer because we can talk about the developer company with 20 employee and they can easily pay for the license. So this is I cannot answer to this. AI is really challenging for DAP. Currently, we block AI sites. Any other solution do you have? This is a very long topic, and I overrun on the 60 minutes. The short answer is yes. So through the cloud, so we continuously give a audit, a shadow IT audit function for the customers, and through this they can control the AI usage. But through the proxy, they can continuously control and monitor the web usage. Moreover, the DLP generally can restrict to leave the sensitive information, the perimeter network or the cloud. So basically, in case of the DLP, and this is the DLP is hot topic now for the customers, you can create a general rule that independently that the employee is using a generative AI or any other website where they can upload the data, the DLP will protect the sensitive information and won't permit to leave the organization. Organization perimeter can be Office 365 cloud or the traditional on-premise infrastructures. Okay. Additional question came, is there any restriction on ZTNS solution deployment and integration through the Huawei cloud? So the ZTNA, the secure access solution, is a cloud solution provided by Symantec Broadcom, which means that we are providing the management interface, and you can create a connectors in your infrastructure, and through this connector, you can access to your internal infrastructure. So in this case, the Huawei cloud, I think, is indifferent. So itself the provider is indifferent. If you want to go deeper, I highly recommend to contact with me. Let me to share my name card. Here you see. Please read this QR code. It's safe, so not malicious. In this QR code, you will get my email address, my phone number, and feel free to contact with me. We can continue the topic in the next year. But till this, thank you very much for your attention. I wish you a Merry Christmas, and let's continue in the next year. Thank you very much again. Have a nice day. Bye.